All right, today we are going to do is how to enable SQL Server Agent on Linux. So once you install the SQL Server and up running, by default the SQL Server Agent is not enabled by default. There must be a reason because for the SQL Server on Linux, you may not need SQL Server Agent for scheduled jobs. The people working in the Linux environment tend to use Cron tab to do the job scheduling. Okay, so on Linux you have a choice: use cron job or use a SQL Server Agent. So that is why it is not enabled by default. So in this video, we're gonna see how we're gonna enable it. So in the SQL Server on Linux, we don't have a SQL Server configuration tool. We're gonna use this command line to configure the SQL Server agent, and after that, we're gonna bounce the instance. Okay. So I'm going to use SQL Server Management Studio. Let me disconnect this and connect to a remote database on the Linux server. So connected. Let me do a new query. So that is the one we installed another day. So I'm going to do a query, select add version. Okay, execute. So it's a SQL Server 2022 RC, and Linux it's not enough, and but anyway. So I can use SQL CMD. Let me use SQL CMD then. SQL CMD selected, add version. Okay. Oh no, this one. That is the my local. I need to connect to remote. So the remote service 08 user is going to SA. And let's do this. Okay, let's see. So in this way, you can see it is SQL Server 2022 RC0 and on Linux platform 8.6. Okay. All right. So from the Management Studio, you see the SQL Server agent is disabled. In order to enable it, we need to log on to the remote server. So let me exit this SQL CMD session. Do a SSH connection. So SSH, we're going to just simply use the root user to that remote host with password. Once with that there, we're going to use the command called the msql-conf. You see here, slash is in the /opt MSSQL bin directory. Okay, so this is the command. So if you run this or use -h minus help, you will get the help how to use this command. So let's scrub a little bit. You see this is this usage msql-conf -h and so on and so forth. So when we do the installation, we did the setup. We use these tools. They also have other argument or parameters. You see here set. means a set a value for a config file. Onset reverse the list is a list the supported listing. Okay, also they have a trace flags to enable disable trace flags. Okay, so most we're gonna use is gonna be use the set because like set the value. Okay. All right, let's do this is how to get help. If we do just as I said, do a list to see all the setting let's do a more so you will see. So we're going to get here for those kind of parameters, control distributed transaction and so on and so forth. Let me see how many total this parameters to be set. Probably 188. So the one we are interested is here, SQL Agent. Okay, so there's like 5 of them. Let's take a look. I'm gonna just do a grep SQL Agent. Okay, you see we have SQL Agent database email profile. We can set SQL Agent enabled. Right now by default is disabled. So we're gonna set enable. There's also SQL Agent error log where you put this error log. SQL Server Agent error log level. What kind of level? You know you're gonna do. Most we're gonna use default. Okay. SQL Server Agent startup wait for all DB. This is also default, so we don't bother. The one we are interested is here. Okay, so we're gonna do this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run this command. It must be user or sudo user. Okay, so let me scroll back. So this is the command, and then you're gonna paste. This is the parameter. SQL Agent dot enabled. So SQL Agent is like a category enabled. It is the parameter name. So the value is going to be true. Okay. So we're gonna set this to true. You can set it similarly in others. I'm missing a set. Okay. So we're gonna set. I don't think it's case sensitive. You know. All right. They said okay. You need to run syscontrol restart this service. Okay. So you're gonna do system ctl restart MS SQL Server. All right, so this is where you're gonna start. But before I run this, let me kill this command first. So I'd like to show you what exactly is happening. Let's go to the /var. That is where the home for that SQL Server. Okay. /var opt MS SQL. It is going to be in the log. Okay. MSQL. Let's do ls first. If you do ls to this directory, you will see the data directory, log directory. So this is the file. You know, it's called mssql.conf. This file is going to be used by the engine. Okay. When the engine starts, they're going to read this file to find what the parameters it's going to use. Okay. So let's do a. You see, right now it says enable is true because we set this way. Okay, this is when we run this command, the root user is going to modify this, adding this engine here. Prior to that, it just plays with this accept license this entry. Okay. So now let's start it. So we're gonna do the command system. Command we're gonna run system ctl start MS SQL. Okay, MS SQL or restart. It's fine. Either start or restart. Start. Yeah, MS server. I don't need the SQL service, So let's restart it. Okay, restart successful. Let's do a check. Status. Okay. Status is active, running. So let's go back to the let's do a refresh this session. And probably because of when we do restart, this connection was terminated. Now you see it's green, so you will see the familiar SQL Server Agent. That's very similar like on the Windows. So there's only one job. This is a part of the purge history. Similarly, you can define alerts, operators, error log, and so on and so forth. Okay, and management, you can see the server log from here as well. Okay, I think that's it. So basically, we learned two things. It's these two. I mainly want to show how to use these two to do the setting, because we already see, if you see, you can of course go to the Google search, see Microsoft document, but here if we just run from here, we can get a list. We know what variables to set. Give example, let's see. We want to see the network. Okay, so for example, if we don't want to use the default, what we're gonna do? So you will find the TCP port. See, this is the TCP port. You're gonna see use a different port number. Okay, so let's do one more time. Take a look what the category is. So has distributed extensibility, memory. So in this the memory. So if you want memory, you see the memory limit, those kind of things. File location is another. Network is a category SQL agent. So those things we can set. Okay. This one telemetry. Those kind of things. If you don't want, you can disable it. Something. WMI. So this is where we're going to use these two to configure the SQL Server or instance. Okay, you see also this one. Maybe use the file location. For example, you want to change the default dump directory, data dir, log dir, log for error log, and so on and so forth. You even can change the master, data files if you don't want to go to the default location. As we looked earlier, the default location is in the var opt MS SQL data. You see, here's all the default location, masters, model, and so on and so forth, and also like temp, MSDB, so on and so forth. Okay, all right, so that's all.